Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Eric the old Jarhead here, and today I'm just going to show you my adventurous trip up to the cabin. The roads were actually really clear until I got to the main road leading to my driveway, and that was a bit sloppy, but it wasn't bad. And then we hit the driveway, well, the private road that gets up to our driveway, and it was plowed, so it really wasn't bad. It was a bit slippery, bit sloppy, but I knew I'd need my chains as soon as I got up to my driveway. So I stopped and, started putting the chains on. Pretty standard procedure here. You get them lined up, throw them over the tires, drive over them, hook them back up. And, the funny thing is there was just enough of a breeze that I was trying to get the drone up to show, to show you what I'm doing here. And it was moving around quite a bit, and I was really surprised. And as I was doing this, I didn't notice that the battery on the drone was actually dying on me. So I ended up only catching when I was doing the chains, actually. But I got them on, got them rigged up. And the funny thing is after I got my chains on, I actually ran up to the top of the hill with the drone running, thinking that it was recording me. I forgot to hit record, and then the battery started to die on the drone, and it flew all the way back down the hill and landed at its home spot after I almost crashed it. And so I had to go down and get it. Well, I thought I could drive back up. Well, what you're about to see is the fact that, well, I couldn't just drive back up, folks. It just wasn't happening. So here we go. This is attempt number 1. Now, I've already driven up once, so I'm thinking I should have no problem. Took off in second gear. And I get around this rock right here, which is always the commit zone. Once you pass that rock right there and this tree, you're in about a 12-degree increase here, or hill. And I got out of the ruts or something and dug in. So I started the usual, kind of back up a little bit and then try to go again, over and over again. And as you can see here, not only was it not working, but I started to drift to the outside of the edge of the road, which is not a good place to be at all, folks. And I'm kind of backing up, and then I go again, and I just could not get it to go past this one spot. And it kept drifting out to the outside of the road. You don't really see that here. But there was a couple times where the rear end started to come around a bit on me. And that gets a little bit scary because you're kind of thinking, uh-oh, this could be a problem. But I kept thinking, well, if I could just back it up a little bit and kind of bump it over whatever's stopping me, I'd be able to go. The problem is I was in probably about a foot of snow on the ruts themselves, and directly below that was just solid ice. And so even with my ice chains on, I just couldn't do it. If I had chains on the back, I think I might have made it, actually, especially if I backed up and got a good run at it. But every time I tried, I'd get just about to the same spot. It would dig in, slide over to the edge even more. You can kind of see I'm getting over to the edge here now. And I kept thinking, boy, I do not want to go over that edge at all, because then I'm really in trouble. But I figured, well, I'll back up even further and get a run at it. And this run, I almost made it. It was really close. You'll see here, I backed up, got going again. Start getting going. I'm trying not to dig in. I'm trying to just go as easy as I can. But as you'll see, I didn't get much further and it started to drift out to the outside again. Again, right there. Well, I won't give up. So I backed up again and tried one more time. Almost. We're getting there. Maybe I can do it. Folks, I have been driving up and down this road for 15 years. You'd think by now I'd have made it. But, yep, you see it kind of drifting, and then, boom, dug in, not going forward. Now, I have never actually had to pull myself anywhere with my own winch. I've used it for others, but I've never actually had to use it for myself. And then it wouldn't disengage. I could not get the clutch to disengage. It would barely disengage. I was trying hard to pull it. I couldn't pull it. And as you can see here, I've got it over my shoulder and I'm trying to drag it loose and it's just not working very well. So after fighting it up this hill, and I don't know if you watch my other channel, but I got a bad back. So at one point I could hear my vertebrae popping and I thought, I should probably go ahead and try something else. So after trying to disengage, I just got the controller and started winching out rope right there, and I figured I'll just walk it up the hill then after I get enough out. I managed to get it up far enough after a few tries. Actually, it took a lot longer than you're seeing here, but I got it up to a tree up there that I could then attach it to, and I hadn't even grabbed my soft shackle. So I just wrapped it through the tree saver and decided, you know what, I'm just going to use it like that. First time I've had to do this, folks. At that point, of course, once you get going with the winch, it's just enough to drag me up in the spots that I was digging in. You'll see that here. I get going and I actually end up overrunning the winch a couple times. So you'll actually see me kind of stop, winch a little bit more, stop, winch a little bit more. And that's because I was pulling in the winch rope after I started running over it a bit. But it's still really, really steep. The camera does not do it justice here, folks. I got about as close to that tree as I could get, and because it's off to the right, I didn't want to drag myself more to the right. I knew I'd have to reset that, so I went ahead and pulled the rope off, pulled the winch off, and tried to walk it up to the next tree, and it just wasn't long enough, so I actually had to come back, winch out some more. Now by this time it started to disengage, and yeah, I almost slipped there. But I winched out some more and then dragged it back up, got it up to the next tree directly ahead of me there that you can see. Once I got it on that tree, then I knew I was set. I could get the rest of the way up. Now getting down is going to be kind of fun, I think. Okay. All right, here we go. Making progress. That's what I'm talking about. And this is where I was starting to kind of overrun it a little bit, and I probably could have kept going, but without a second body there to help keep that winch pulled in or out of my way, I was going to drive over it, and I didn't want to do that. Now we'll go up a little bit, and then probably going to have to index the winch later. Alright, well, here we go. And these stops here is because I'm winching in the rope so I don't overrun it. And that's about as far as I needed to go. I could get the rest of the way on my own, so now all I got to do is go pull the winch rope off the tree with the tree saver and the soft shackle that I did eventually put on, get it back down to the Jeep, and then I could take off from there. All right, folks, I've always said that this driveway is deceiving. Now, the funny thing is, there's probably a foot of snow or more in the middle. In fact, I was dragging the underbelly on some of that snow, which means it's probably quite a bit more than that. But on top, it's packed down. So on top, I might be packed on a foot of snow or something, and then maybe a foot on top. So I made it up the first time, got all the way up past that tree there and had to turn around to go all the way back down over there to get the drone because the battery was dying and it had to go land. And I drove down. It was a bit sloppy. And on the way up, well, you saw me winch from this tree first and then from that one there. Needless to say, I've got my exercise in today. Now I need to finally get to the cabin and get the wood stove going and get it heated up. So let's continue on. It's a bit sloppy, but we'll get there. All right, here, the last quarter mile. It's definitely sloppy. It's 38 degrees out, so it's melting, which is making the snow really soft and sloppy, and traction is difficult. I'm gonna have to index that winch next weekend when we do the dunes run with Rattlesnake 4x4. Mine will be a perfect winch for that. All right, now we're in 4 low, and there's quite a bit of snow here. I mean, it doesn't look like that much happened after Doug and I were here, and there was only about a foot then, but boy, I'll tell you, that hill is on the north slope, so it doesn't get much sun. But it's a good thing Doug was in here already, and or Doug and I, because it made tracks for me, so I can easily cruise through these tracks now. Well, I'll tell you what, it might be a bourbon 30 after I get the wood stove done and moved in, and yes, my seatbelt's not on. Stupid Jeep. Okay, don't call it a stupid Jeep. Alright, Jeep, whatever. Oh, panels are clear, so that's good. I'm getting good solar production. Sorry about the beep, 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 beep. There, put my seatbelt back on, it'll stop beeping at us. I thought in 4 low it wouldn't do that, but I guess at a certain speed it does. Alright. What a day, folks. I should have been up here an hour ago. The drone died on me. Put a new battery in it, and I guess that battery was low too, and I thought for sure I'd charged him up, so I don't know. I'll charge him up today and we'll see. Good times. There's a deer. Oh, it's a couple deer. Alright, slippy slidey down the hill. Oh, looks like some bear poop or something right there. We got him on a game camera. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we've had a little bit of snow because I plowed this out last time we were here, which is, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Alright, here we are.